We all know that drones have changed the world of photography and videography because they allow you to capture details and perspectives that were previously unattainable. After all, no matter how you look at it, the drone allows one to look at unique situations from an even cooler angle. Now please like this video and be sure to subscribe to keep your eye on even more interesting collections. We're ready to go! Thanks to drones, it became possible to see nests of the storks so close. However, it is unlikely that birds like such annoying shooting. Of course, it is much easier to simply demolish the building, but if it's historically significant, it can be moved to another place. Mountain roads are often distinguished not only by their danger, but also by the spectacular views that open from them. Blue whales amaze with their majesty in all aspects. This time it was possible to capture how this sea giant feeds. You will not see such a huge number of colors in this market in China anywhere else. These tourists were lucky not only to see the magnificent whales, but also to get to know them personally and even touch them. Kangaroos have quite a lot of things against drones. However, who would like to have such a spy over them? This is how artificial reefs are created. Cleared of substances harmful to the aquatic environment, the ship is submerged to the bottom so that it becomes a place of life and development for billions of different species of flora and fauna. The Horse Lighthouse is located near the Spanish town of Santona in Cantabria. Those who want to see it up close must walk 700 steps up the stairs. Chapada Diamantina is the most beautiful national park in Brazil, the real gem of which is this picturesque waterfall. Travelers need to overcome 9,000 steps in order to reach the twin temples located at different ends of the peak of Mount Fangisan, which is split into several parts and divided by a narrow gorge. Modern architecture is increasingly striving for harmony with nature, creating buildings and structures that not only fit into the surrounding landscape, but also become a part of it. The narrow staircase on this mountain is another proof that there is always an opportunity to continue your journey. Precision, dexterity of movements, and constant testing of courage are the components of this most difficult dance. Drone performances add plus 100 entertainment points to each event. I think these secretive peoples of the Amazon have a lot in common with kangaroos about drones. Free riding in the mountains on a snowboard is not just a sport, it is a real adventure that takes your breath away and gives you a feeling of freedom.
What a twist! Haven't you expected to see this either, have you?
The French street artist and photographer became famous for his art projects, murals, and collages painted in public places in big cities all around the world. All his works remind people of important social issues. Just imagine, scientists believe that this waterfall near Beirut is at least 160 million years old, and it is one of the 10 most beautiful waterfalls in the world. This 15-meter creature is lying down in the Chinese Gobi Desert. The author of the sculpture, called the Child of the Earth, is the famous Chinese professor Dong Shubing. He wanted to show the importance of preserving nature, its fragility, and its importance for everyone's life. If earlier we showed a difficult path for a person, now it's the most difficult thing for a car. It is going to be a nerve-wracking experience for any driver. This is another drone show that surprised passers-by. It's beautiful and probably even a little creepy. This artificial waterfall is no worse in its grandeur than Niagara. Now we have another test for courage, and judging by the height of the steps, the endurance of the legs. Does it also seem to you that this place simply cannot be on our planet? It is so fabulously beautiful. I have to say that nature is an unsurpassed artist and creator, creating unique paintings and forms that take your breath away and leave indelible impressions. The La Plata estuary in Uruguay has become a large-scale cemetery for obsolete ships and vessels. This is a unique and eerie-looking place with a history that begins with sunken sailing ships and is also known for having dozens of destroyed ships stuffed with gold, jewelry, and artifacts of the past at its bottom. I don't have enough words to admire this. What an exciting job! I have to say that this cruise ship looks so cool, but it's worth admitting that the ship becomes even more fantastic from such an angle. The wave in Arizona is another unique creation of nature. These beautiful rocks, formed after millions of years of turning sand dunes into stones, got their appearance due to winds and rains. Majeshan, or the Wheat Mountain, is like a scroll of Chinese history from the 4th to the 19th centuries. The monasteries, made in a structure similar to an anthill, were carved on the southern slope of the mountain at an altitude of 80 meters from the foot. It is here that the history of calligraphy, sculpture, and architecture of China lives, even though most of the grottos are closed to the public. The main beauties of the Shenajia ecotourism area in China are considered by many to be incredible flat rocks. Thousands of people are involved in this performance. Their synchronized movements and bright outfits fascinate and delight. Abandoned areas of big cities are the best places for street artists to create. In spring, some Chinese cities are transformed and acquire a fabulous atmosphere thanks to the cherry blossom. The spider was much more lucky with the choice of a place for a vacation. It's probably nice to take a break from the everyday life of the metropolis, and you don't even need a web. These lovely images of whales and dolphins swimming together were captured on a drone over one of the oceans of Australia. It's time for a crab invasion. This is the kind of migratory invasion of red crabs that the inhabitants of Christmas Island are experiencing. Crabs get along in burrows and mate while disturbing the locals with their presence. Dettifoss waterfall in the northeast of Iceland is the most powerful waterfall in Europe. In early spring, experts carry out a series of directional explosions that free the surface of rivers from ice in order to avoid floods. Capturing a blue whale is incredible luck, especially when it's trying to find some food. This creature eats about 400 million crustaceans a day and passes about 100 tons of water through itself in one meal.
To be honest, I'm speechless after witnessing it. What about you?
This is a simple but effective solution to problems with heavy traffic. One thing is that it can only be safe if the participants follow the rules and the speed limit. It's just another incredibly difficult road. As you can guess, it'll never forgive even a drop of alcohol. As soon as the cold weather arrives at St. Joseph's Lighthouse in Michigan, it immediately becomes overgrown with a thick layer of ice. From this view, you want to immediately drink something warm. Thanks to such aqueducts, the Nazca people continue to survive in the difficult conditions of the lands of Peru. The Puquio system made it possible to move and save volumes of water for irrigation of crops such as cotton, beans, potatoes, and others. The guy was calmly walking down the mountain road. No one would have thought who he would be lucky enough to meet if he hadn't been captured by a camera passing by a drone. Such a not very friendly bear appeared out of nowhere. Just imagine how brave this cyclist is. Fortunately, he managed to get away from meeting a rather big bear. It seems that this whale and dolphin are very comfortable spending time in each other's company. This gigantic installation is amazing, especially when you see it from a bird's eye view. Most of the places where the two rivers merge become tourist attractions. Very often, due to the difference in water temperature and the particles contained in it, the boundary between rivers is clearly visible. If I used to think that mermaids were fictional characters, then this video got me thinking. Somewhere in America, a drone was able to secretly film such swimming procedures of an unknown creature, very reminiscent of the Little Mermaid from the Disney cartoon. Whether this is true or not is up to everyone to decide. A lot of beauty can be seen from a bird's eye view. From this angle, it's even hard to imagine that ordinary cars can do this. This is a real concert. Have you seen crocodiles so close? I haven't seen it for sure. But thanks to modern technology, this becomes absolutely possible and, most importantly, safe. However, the animal does not seem to like the unknown device and wants to deal with it as soon as possible. Well, enjoy your meal. The drone was just flying around when it witnessed this. What are these figures? And most importantly, how did they get there? We have more questions than answers. Along with the pleasure of riding the waves, surfers sometimes face danger in the form of sharks. Even though these bloodthirsty predators rarely attack them, such encounters definitely cause an adrenaline rush in the blood. Drones don't even have to glow in the night sky in order to put on a spectacular show. Sometimes it's enough for them to just start moving upward. Maybe such a way of food delivery will scare pets at first, but soon they will get used to it and will always be full.
There are things that are absolutely impossible to believe, and how could this even happen?
From this angle, you can appreciate their efforts. If you were afraid of snakes before, then you will definitely be delighted with this one. Just look at this amazing creation. What an incredibly beautiful sight. Unfortunately, nature has its own rules and laws that should not be violated. These are the consequences of a natural cataclysm that a drone was able to film from a height. It's a terrible sight. These shots were successfully made in Chile in 2023 during the opening of the dam to lower the water level. It looks amazing, but the reason for this is not very joyful. The country suffered from prolonged torrential rains, and this measure was forced in order to avoid floods. In any case, the camera took wonderful beauty shots. What was that? A bird, an airplane, or something else? This drone was quietly filming the beauty of the nature of a canyon in Utah and suddenly noticed something flying by. What it was, and even launched with such force, remains a mystery. Who said that animals need care? They can take care of themselves very well. These white bears have found a wonderful home for themselves, and now they can safely manage everything there. The main thing is not to interfere with them. Karst sinkholes appear from time to time all over the globe. This sinkhole with a diameter of 25 meters was formed in Utah. Do you know what they do with old planes? They're buried like people. And this is a real airplane cemetery, which is located in Arizona. Everyone wants love, care, and hugs. This leopard is no exception. What a sweet thing. Did you think this was only possible in movies? A combination of frosty temperatures, stormy winds, and towering ocean waves was able to make an ice castle out of an ordinary house on the ocean. Absolutely everything has become an ice sculpture and looks like a fairy tale. Traveling through the forests in Oregon, you were probably ready to find tall trees, various birds, or a stream, but not a Boeing 727. However, it is there, and it has an owner who lives there. This is a house on wheels, or rather, on wings.
Before watching similar videos, it would be great to buy some sedative pills. One needs nerves of steel here.
At the fishing festival, you can not only enjoy your favorite activity, but also meet like-minded people. The struggle of birds and drones for airspace creates fantastic scenes of collisions between the natural inhabitants of the sky and technological innovations. Fortunately, modern technology allows one to capture stunning views. Don't worry, everything is going according to plan. In such a way, they got rid of 2 old buildings in one move. It is always interesting to observe natural processes. Thanks to the drone, the migration of hundreds of dolphins to the other shore was filmed. It's a wonderful sight, isn't it? From a height, it seems that this is some kind of swimming competition among people. And what do you think? The laws of nature are cruel. Unfortunately, we cannot save or prevent everything. For example, the Earth's movements created such a rift. These shots will horrify anyone. Only the real brave can enjoy the wonderful scenery from such a height. How about a walk on a snowy mountain? It looks exciting, doesn't it? Probably everyone knows this landmark, but it never ceases to amaze and fascinate even seasoned travelers. Its name is the Gates of Hell. It sounds scary, but it looks even scarier because it has been burning for more than 50 years. This is a lonely hole in the middle of the desert. Would you like to go there? It is difficult to even imagine a more picturesque place for tea drinking in pleasant company or for the opportunity to be alone with your thoughts. China is constantly introducing new technologies to ensure a comfortable life for its citizens, so mobile limiters appeared on the roads. This crane did an excellent job lifting such valuable and bulky cargo.
And we're moving on at the speed of light. All the most interesting things are still ahead.
Who can be surprised by a waterfall now? What if I show you an iced one? Of course, the melting of glaciers is not a very good phenomenon, but this will not make it any less beautiful. Here's another confirmation that a person should not invade nature. This is the Batagai crater, which arose due to human activity. Yes, the view from the drone is mesmerizing and it seems very beautiful, but is beauty worth such sacrifices? These unusual trees have been discovered in New Zealand. It feels like the hairdresser made them such fancy hairstyles, but in fact, these are just the result of a cold sea wind. Such a uniformity of movements can only be envied. This random drone captured the unusual movements of a flock of sheep. I wonder if someone taught them this. The future has already arrived. Thanks to modern technology, you can feel like a bird and fly together with an eagle. How can anyone refuse such a thing? It's scary to move here, let alone work. From a distance, it seems like there are no signs of life in the vineyards on the Spanish island of Lanzarote. Despite the fact that the climate on the island is dry and almost rainless, ash fertilizes plants, helping to retain moisture and heat and reduces evaporation. This creates ideal conditions for... No one will argue that whales are intelligent animals, but how can you explain this phenomenon? During the diving of the whale, the drone filmed the formation of such a strange shape. It is called the Fibonacci spiral. Nature itself creates incredible things. For introverts, this island will be a real salvation. It is located in the middle of the Dead Sea, but it is not so easy to get there because of the high salt content. Actually, that's why it's called dead, but it's easy to enjoy this beauty from a height. Flying with pelicans is an exciting and unusual entertainment. One can plunge into this adventure and enjoy the beauty of the ocean. It's great, isn't it? Isn't that a fascinating sight? There is no fear and danger, only pleasure. Who is more scared here? The poor little bear definitely did not expect to see something flying, so its only salvation was to escape to a tree. Well, why would you scare a bear like that? These unusual geometric shapes haunt us. This is a flock of tuna, and they tend to move like this. It helps to lay eggs safely and protect themselves from predators. Besides, it's very beautiful.
If you want to switch to something else, don't be hurry. Something truly interesting is just about to begin.
Now we have another confirmation that the angle matters. Only from a height can you appreciate ordinary things. This huge hole appeared unexpectedly quite recently. Its size is impressive. It looks like a large Olympic swimming pool. How it happened and why is a mystery that has no answer. You don't have to be a professional surfer to swim with dolphins. In fact, this is also a good option. But to make the task easier, you can simply point the drone at the right time to the right place. That's all. Painting pictures goes to a new level. You won't surprise anyone with an ordinary drawing anymore, but the portrait on the field is something unique. But something went wrong in this case. Is the waterfall broken? What an interesting and unusual sight, isn't it? This unusual river can be found in Peru. However, it is not always red, but only in the rainy season. But does it really matter? The history of shipbuilding dates back about 4,000 years. At the same time, despite modern technology, large ships still continue to sink, even if it happens much less often than ever. This huge installation is a kind of elevator for moving water vessels from one reservoir to another.
If you haven't liked this episode yet, now is the best time to do it.
In the modern world, it is extremely difficult to hide anything. It is possible to make detailed images and videos from the air, monitoring and filming even those objects that are under reliable protection or classified. This bridge has served faithfully, but it's time to make room for something new. Now, even the strangest and most classified finds do not go unnoticed and often end up in the media. All this is thanks to drones, which can easily capture secret military bases, closed production complexes, or even private properties. Now, forget all the problems and worries, it's time to relax. Would you like to do the same? Now witness the clash of the elements. Is clearly not what you expect to see.